Hey, what's up guys? This is MTG Tournament Grinder. So here we are in the first round of my M19 draft. I ended up putting together what I call Bant Flyers. I think the overall game plan is to clog up the ground with walls, which I have since been told is a bad strategy, but that's what I'm doing here. Playing a lot of walls on the ground, and then building up a good presence in the air, and trying to deal most of my combat damage with creatures that have flying. So we'll see how this goes.
2/2 vigilance. Say again.
Return. Diamond Mirror. Red. Say go.
So when I first saw that card going around the table, I didn't think much of it. And even now as he's casting it, I think, oh, okay. But actually, it really does a lot of work for him in this game. A lot better than I thought.
Wall of Vines. 0/3 under reach.
Wall of Vines. That's my plan. For better or for worse. That is part of my plan.
Combat.
Interesting. No lines. I'll take it.
Yeah, I assume he has a combat trick if he's swinging into my current board state. So I chose not to block. It's just 1 damage.
Pyromancer. I'll gain a life. I'll go up to 21, and I'll do 2 damage to you.
Yes. So I'll be at 17, you'll be at 21.
And so the life gain begins.
17, 21.
Say go.
Untap, upkeep, draw, stab. Interesting.
Well, I got my colors. With
Go
one
ahead.
piece of fixing, that's not always easy.
Block.
Cool. Segment phase. Territorial.
Yes, Starground Stag. Alright. In game, I just told my opponent, Territorial Hammerskull, because it does pretty much the same thing. That card was such a bomb in the Ixalan draft environment. It's still good in the M19 draft environment as well.
Combat.
I love the art of that thing.
Yeah, this definitely smells like a trick. If he's swinging into my... This is an even better board state than it was last time he swung. So if he has a trick, I'm going to make him use it to kill my crappy wall.
Sure strike.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
I'll gain a life.
Because it was a red spell. 22.
Sure Strike has the potential to kill your big fat creatures. So the fact that it was used just to kill a little 0/3 wall, I'm pretty pleased.
Rare. One sacrifice a creature, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Okay. Jeez, that's sweet.
Say go.
Untap, upkeep, draw, step. And
Well, I'm not missing my land drops. That's not... It's not too bad. Not too shabby.
Militia Bugler.
Oh, okay.
Look at the top 4 cards on my library. I can reveal a creature
So,
card
I'm pretty
with
fond of
power
Militia
less than
Bugler.
them.
I think it's a great card.
The rest
Look at the top 4, so let's see what they are. Recollect, Snapping Drake. Oh no, oh no! Well, at least not all is lost. There is one option, so my choices are pretty slim. It's going to be the Aerial Engineer. But I put Recollect and Rabid Bite on the bottom of my library.
I was just looking for the word. It's like, how
So,
can I not be
2 of my better non-creature spells, one of them being removal. And I think I only have like 3 pieces of removal, if you don't count Bounce. Because I have Disperse, and I have Totally Lost. But, and those definitely count as removal. But without those, the actual removal, hard removal I have is Take Vengeance times 2 and 1 Rabid Bite. So that sucks.
Swing.
So the 2/3 Vigilance is pretty good. But I'm willing to trade it for a combat trick. I don't know if that's right.
Cast Trumpet Blast. I'll gain a life.
attack creatures get +2/+7?
So he's really gained a lot of life from this Diamond Mare. It's pretty unfortunate.
Now they trade, and I
Take.
When usually I wouldn't offer up the trade with my 2/3 Vigilance, one of my only 2 creatures, so he's really important. but the creature it traded for, that Dark Dwellers, is actually pretty good.
Land per turn, Sigma.
I didn't want to have to deal with that later.
My aggro deck is doing the do. 5, 6.
So I know I have the Aerial Engineer. It looks like also a Snapping Drake in my hand.
33.
So with 6 mana, I can only choose to do one. I'm not sure which is best. Oh well. Looks like on the day I thought Aerial Engineer was best. So a 2/4 that if you control an artifact it gets +2/+0 in flying. Maybe my logic here is if I play it now, it won't have Summoning Sickness if I happen to draw an artifact.
Trust that.
Oh,
Cards in hand.
and if I see correctly, it looks like I lucked out. I did in fact draw an artifact, the Suspicious Bookcase.
I'll go to combat.
I love that card. It's just so good.
Tap him down.
So this seems like a misplay actually. I should have played Suspicious Bookcase first main and got the +2/+0 in flying.
Second main phase.
Oh well.
Snapping Drake. Suspicious bookcase.
Yeah, definitely should have played the Bookcase first main phase. Let's see what he's got.
Yep.
So that reminds me of like a storm card. It's kind of like
Sigma.
Pyretic Ritual
Snap.
or something, the way it gives you double red. It's not triple red, but I'm not sure what that card's purpose is for. Obviously it's to cast red spells, but as far as like which actual card it's good with, like a play that is strong that involves it, I haven't seen yet.
He can't be blocked this turn.
Well that's interesting.
Go to combat.
Yeah, because the other two are flyers, so make the one guy on the ground unblockable. That seems right.
So it's 5 in the air, 3 on the ground.
Although, I remember this while editing. I just announced 5 in the air and 3 on the ground. Really, though, it is 7 in the air because I should be getting the +2/+0 trigger on the Aerial Engineer.
I don't know if you noticed.
Even though I missed the trigger, it was enough.
I'm gonna keep it.
Yikes. I guess I'll risk it.
So let's see what happens in this game 2 of ours. Game 1 wasn't so bad.
Forest. All
I mean, a turn 1 play, even if it's not a good one. I mean, I'm not sure about that. I feel like I've been like dogging on my choices for getting these walls the whole time, and that's just because of what I've been told by other people. I genuinely think that walls are pretty interesting in the limited environment. Against this deck with cards like Sure Strike and like Trumpet Blast, a 0/3 wall, like maybe the 0/7 wall would be good, but or something like that. But a 0/3 is just not good enough against this deck. It doesn't mean I think the whole strategy is bad. Yeah, but it's obviously not very good here.
Go ahead.
It's nice that I have a guy with reach. I can block his flyer without losing my Pegasus Courser. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm kind of falling behind already.
That's fine.
And if I lose to Pegasus Courser, it's really not going to be good, tempo-wise.
Or something. I don't know.
Cast Uncomfortable Chill. Your creatures get -2/-0 to the end of the turn. Trigger. Kills. Draw a card.
Pretty good.
I was prepared to make him waste a combat trick,
It's like it's a
but
defender that can't
because
attack.
this time it was the guy that has pseudo prowess, it didn't even have to be an actual combat trick, just any non-creature spell. So that's some pretty good value. Kill my creature, draw a card.
I have a Pegasus Courser.
If one is good, then 2 must be better, right?
19. Yes.
I think I'm struggling with my mana. Forest, plains, plains. If I'm seeing that correctly. I imagine there's some good blue spells in my hand.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, so if 1 is good and 2 is better in terms of Pegasus Courser, I'm sure that's true for the Even Wind Mage.
Yep.
So let's see this time. Island, Plains, Island.
And I was waiting.
Is that really 4 lands?
I'm gonna put 3 lands on the bottom.
Oh, 3 lands and a Disperse.
I was like holding off as long as I
God,
could.
here I am really hurting for blue mana, and then I go and put some blue sources on the bottom of my library. Militia Bugler, why you do this to me? But it's alright, it's not over yet.
Yes, Ghost Form, they can't be blocked this turn.
Damn, that's good. So they can't be blocked. They both get +1/+1, so that's 6.
I'll cast Sure Strike.
Trigger again, so 7, 8.
Trigger. So
Plus 3 is 11?
now 1 is
Oh
7.
my goodness.
So
So
7
11.
plus 4, yeah. So
11 unblockable flying damage. Holy crap. Yeah, fist bump is deserved on that one. Holy god. Good job, dude. Good job.
That was amazing. That's the wrong color. Still land though. Take vengeance, destroy one of them. Sure.
Yeah, I've got to take some sort of vengeance after that. Jesus Christ.
Cards in hand.
4. Because I got the draw card off of
The one guy.
I was going chill.
2. Got vigilance.
Sure, it's pretty good.
Go.
Well, hopefully I can manage to stabilize after that huge, huge blowout.
Sure to put an
That was
island
just
on the
insane.
bottom, so it really hurts my feelings. Oh boy.
Diamond Mare naming red, sure.
Oh boy, here comes the Diamond Mare again.
Sega.
I think it gained him like 4 or 5 life. Well, enough to be consequential. A significant amount in the first game.
Combat.
Sure.
Give him flying.
Sure.
4.
Interesting.
It is as it's declared.
I'll take all of it.
I'm looking at his mana, only 2. He could have another Sure Strike, but I've already seen one. So I'm assuming now is a safe chance to get my damage in.
Return target card to my graveyard.
Because I'm not going to win if I just don't attack.
Go ahead.
Wow, okay. Take Vengeance back to my hand feels real good.
Cast, Tormenting Voice. I'll discard a card.
Yep. That's what I did.
Discarding triggered. Apex of Power.
Yeah, the dice just represent 1 prowess trigger. We know it's not a +1/+1 counter, but it helps keep things less than confusing.
Gain a life.
Because it was a red spell.
Yeah, we almost missed that one. He does indeed gain a life.
Combat.
Yep. Combat Trick City. That's what your deck seems to be.
Instance First Race Travel.
So he's swinging for 4.
I want to see what I've seen in this game.
I'm contemplating whether or not I should block, because if I lose my Militia Bugler, I have like very little chance of coming back in a timely manner.
What's the difference between 1 damage or
He's
not?
already used his Sure
I'll
Strike,
take 4.
so I declare no blocks. Oh god, Trumpet Blast.
So it's
Yeah,
4,
that's
5, 6, 7,
that's
8,
plenty.
9. Yep.
2 prowess triggers and a 2/2. That's getting +2/+0 is 6.
Hell, dude.
Plus 3 is 9. That was exactly lethal. Well, Molda 6 in the final game is never good, but it looks like I like my scry. I'm going to keep it on top, it appears.
Wall of Vines. Go ahead.
Nothing if not consistent. Turn 1 Wall of Vines.
Go ahead.
2/2 Vigilance for 2. I feel like he's a really good body. It's like you don't want an entire deck comprised of 2/2s. That doesn't win you the game. But on turn 2, a 2/2 with Vigilance is really strong.
Combat. 2. Yep. 18. Nice.
Getting in there. No 3-drop. I was curving out real good until I missed my 3-drop.
Wind Mage.
Nice.
Oh no, not the Even Wind Mage again. That card is so good. I did not expect that. Like, I drafted it, and I think there's actually one in my deck, but I'm not playing the red-blue spells shell, so it's just not nearly as good in my deck.
Stark on Stag.
Yes, that card's good though. Yeah, whatever they name it, whether it's Territorial Hammer Skull or Starcrown Stag, it's just that kind of effect whenever this creature attacks, tap down defending creature, or a creature defending player controls. That is just so good.
Land per turn.
Okay, so I think this is my shining moment from this entire day coming up right here.
Combat.
So I go to combat, a swing, tap down his best dude, naturally, his best blocker.
I'll take 5.
Got you at 11.
So now it's tapped against his will, and I'll take Vengeance, which just seems so good. And if it isn't good enough, recollect to put the Take Vengeance back in my hand. Like,
Just that.
probably the coolest thing I've done since M19 came out. The Rabid Bite plus Daggerback Basilisk is only 2 cards, and it's like a really good combo too. I don't know if you call it a combo, but it's a really good interaction. This is 3 cards, so it's a little harder to get off, but I think it's so much more impactful. It's a removal spell, a hard removal spell, the way Death Touch in a one-sided fight is, but it's repeatable. You get to do it twice.
I'll take 5. Go to 6.
Got you at 6. Destroy target tap creature.
Yep, and there's the second time.
Second.
And I don't know how one comes back from this. This seems pretty devastating.
Frill the Sea Serpent.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big fatty. I just get to tap it down. But I shouldn't let my guard down. He did 11 damage all in one turn, and then 9 damage the following turn in game 2.
Got you at 3.
I have a hard time seeing how he could manage 18, but still.
Declare. Land. Best.
There's something worth thinking about. Or he would have just conceded, I imagine.
But YOLO, let's go ahead and play.
For show, for show.
Act of Treason.
Oh, I hadn't seen that in games 1 or 2, so I was not expecting that.
Combat. Tapping down.
As far as which creature to tap down, I'm pretty sure I tell him here because we're good friends.
My only blocker is
You want to leave
guy
my good
with
attacker
my
as my only blocker.
So take
I'm less inclined to block with my 3/2 flyer, you know.
Blast.
Take 11
Holy
instead.
crap.
Oh my god, you almost got me.
Dude, he almost did it again with that crazy nonsense. I thought I was in the clear, but I actually got pretty darn close.
Right, that would have been 4 more damage.
Well, that was a lot of fun. In retrospect, I'm not sure if I have quite enough artifacts in my deck to make Arterial Engineer worth it, but the walls and the flyers kinda did their thing. I'm not sure if I can really attribute my win to some flyers so much as the Recollect, Take Vengeance, Starcrown Stag combo. But we'll see how round 2 goes.